Right, welcome back everyone to another podcast with BnL. We're here with Q Sport NZ or CSNZ with Kim, Denise and Tatum. So that's Kim, Cullen, Denise Wilkinson and Tatum Manning. Welcome guys.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Oh, and Brody.
And Brody, yeah, hello. So we've got these ladies here to talk about the new association that's been started up and what they're trying to do and where they're trying to do it and who they're targeting and all the good things that come with getting a new association up and running. Personally, we know it's a tough one and we wish you all the best and hopefully it all works out, and it looks like you've got a really strong following coming so far. So Kim, tell me a little bit about the reasoning behind it all, and we obviously saw there was a bit of a hole in the market, especially for the women's side of things. I know you're not all about just the women, but this is your first tournament's coming up on the 26th of January, yep, at Pool and Blues in Auckland.
Yes.
And that is a women's tournament. It sounds like you've got quite a decent interest already. So yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see who comes out on top of that inaugural tournament. There's only ever going to be one inaugural tournament. So tell us a little bit about how it came to be.
So CSNZ kind of came to be just from, I guess, all three of us and obviously input from Bruce and other players as well, just the past, and wanting to create something fresh and new, something completely transparent and fair and inclusive for everyone, regardless of what other leagues they play in. We're not here to compete with any other codes of Q Sports. We sort of welcome everyone. We play all codes ourselves. So
yeah, so I've seen a couple of ranking lists released lately, and you guys feature quite heavily on all of them, whether it be American Pool or Northern Area Charter Club stuff or the National Charter Club stuff. You guys are pretty saturated within the higher seedings of just about any ranking list, whether it be open or otherwise. So you're obviously very active in the sport, playing just about every weekend, I would imagine, in the busy season. Yeah
most, or probably every other weekend, I'd say.
Yeah, I think you're lucky being in Auckland as well, because it's quite a scene up there, isn't it?
Lots of tournaments.
Yeah,
like you
and
kind of
if
have to
it's-
choose which things you want to play
Yeah, you
in.
got to we don't have that luxury in Hamilton. We don't get to prioritise which tournament we want to play. It's is there something on? No,
Kind of an
either
hour
do
down the
something
motorway.
ourselves or play at home.
Yeah, no, we are quite fortunate. There are so many tournaments that we have to choose from, and initially, obviously, our first tournament is a ladies, and it will be a ranking tournament. In the future, we do hope to be growing and be able to get spots and create opportunities for overseas travel and what have you.
Brilliant.
So until then, yeah, we'll just carry on with our ranking list and establish something that's like really clear cut, that everyone can follow. Everyone knows if a spot does come up,
Yep.
this is the first person that's going to be offered it.
Brilliant.
We've had some really great feedback, really great support from lots of people. I think at the moment we're sitting at 29 entries,
Good.
which is huge for American pool.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
That's good. When it comes to overseas stuff, as far as New Zealand players are concerned, I think that's always been the ultimate carrot that's been dangled, right? And I always dreamt of trying to get overseas and representing the country, which I did. Didn't exactly put my name on the on the scoreboard. That was the year that Denise did, though. Walked away with her women's world champ title. But I think that's the ultimate goal for so many players, is to take what you can do in your shed or at your local club, branch out within New Zealand, and then be overseas playing amongst some of the best in the world. That's always the goal for so many players. So that's good to see that that's on the agenda potentially for you guys in the future. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Very good.
Not only that, that's part of it. There's also, we want to grow the women's, just their I've forgotten the word.
know.
Like newer players coming in.
Yep.
So we want to just create awareness. there are so many people that play on the 7 foots, like in Northern Area and Clubs New Zealand tournaments, that have never played on a 9-foot American table. So we want to try and get all those ladies involved, and coaching seminars, development programs.
Okay.
Our next tournament that we're looking at is going to be a ladies B grade.
Cool.
So we're going to be pretty sparse with our criteria. It's likely to just be if you've won a ladies singles major title, so North Islands Nationals or South Islands in the past 5 years, you won't be eligible.
Yep.
And anyone else can play.
That's fair. Yep. Yeah. And you would have to question someone that had won a title like that wants to come into a B grade tournament.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, and you have to have criteria, because that B grade stuff is all about encouraging people to play that don't want to come along and just get their ass kicked and hand away easy wins to the top tier players. We need those B grade and C grade players. They have to be included somewhere along the line, because they are still the future. Just because they might not be playing great now doesn't mean they won't be playing great in a few years.
Exactly.
But it is disheartening to turn up to a tournament and get your ass handed to you every single time, and then you wonder why bother. So yeah, that B grade structure is applauded, I think. Anyway, it's well worth having there. Just, you don't know who's coming through those ranks, right? They could be winning the A grade next year. Who knows? So yeah, that's good. That's a really good start. And so predominantly Auckland based with your committee, is it, or you're sort of scattered around a little bit?
Auckland. Obviously Denise is down here in Hamilton.
Right.
Bruce is in Toke.
Yep.
Gary Oliver is in Christchurch.
Okay, cool. Oh wow.
So we've got
good.
a little bit of a spread.
Yeah, cool.
Our committee isn't 100% complete yet,
Yep.
but we're still working on a few things.
It's hard.
Just trying to find a good balance.
Yeah, committees are hard work. Balance, like you say, that's the key. That's the key. What people, I think, need to probably remind themselves a little bit is, even if it's your friend that's on a committee with you, if you clash over whatever the topic may be, you're still friends at the end of it.
Exactly.
And that's, I think, some people find when they have an argument, they just want to walk away, write that person off, never speak to them again, or worse, whatever. But there's going to be a difference in opinion. When you've got two people together, it doesn't matter, you can agree on everything but this. Don't let that one thing be the thing that divides. So that's my advice.
And that's what we want to, with us being friends away from the committee, is for everyone to have their own opinion.
Yep.
So I'm not just going to say yes or agree to something because my friend said yes, type of thing. And we know that doesn't happen.
We've had it happen a couple of times already, so you just get outvoted and you just move on.
That's it. Move on. It's going to happen. Yeah. I'll tell you right now. If you think those problems are gone and it's never going to happen again, you're crazy, because it is going to happen. Everyone sees things differently, but as long as your heart's in the right place and you're doing it for the right reasons, then
we're on the same page at the end of the day, same goal. Yeah,
that's good. I was quite excited to see someone, I think, shared your website to us and had a look through. I didn't know anything about it. I'd heard whispers, but I didn't. I was like, what is going on? But I think your website looks good. Your Facebook posts look really good, and you're getting a good response. And it's good to see a breath of fresh air being blasted into the pool scene in New Zealand, because I think it's probably a little bit overdue. So that's good. Good to see it. Lucas, do you have any questions?
Yep. Yeah, well, we got one mic between the two of us, so it's a bit awkward. But anyway, so yeah, when can we see a men's or open event? Selfishly for myself, I'd like to play. So yeah.
I think probably after we have our ladies tournament on the 26th, when we're basically all together, and you'll be up there too.
Yep.
And we'll be obviously at Pool and Blues, so we can try and
Lucas won't be playing, just for the record.
Lucas has kindly agreed to come up and stream some games for us, which we really appreciate. But once we're all there in the one place and we've got all the calendars set out, obviously we're going to be trying not to clash with any major tournaments, because we want to be able to have the best chance of getting everyone involved. So we'll be trying to look at some dates there.
Yep.
Obviously, Pool and Blues, they have 15 tables, so a women's can be done in one day. Open would need to be over 2.
Yeah. Do you have any plans of like on just on the back of that? Are there any plans of like going to other events other than Pool and Blues as well? Yeah, well, venue, sorry.
In New Zealand, or?
Yeah, just throughout New Zealand and trying maybe holding something somewhere else.
Oh, we'd love to.
Yep.
Yeah, if there's any venues out there that are happy to have us host tournaments for us, we definitely we'd love to go Wellington, Christchurch.
Yeah, so you're not against the idea of just staying at one place and that's it.
Well, no, we want to give everyone in New Zealand the opportunity to be able to play. We don't want everyone to have to travel to Auckland if they want to get involved.
Would you consider holding a 9-ball tournament or a 10-ball tournament on a non-traditional American table, for instance? No, Denise is shaking her head. Absolutely not. Out of the question.
No, I don't know. We'll just leave that to Clubs New Zealand and
Yeah, so you wouldn't. I mean, so you mentioned Wellington. My understanding, there's no 9-ball tables in Wellington. Is that right? There's no venues.
I don't know, to be.
Yeah, there used to be Fast Eddie's. That was like the last of them, I believe, and that was just opposite Pigeon Park upstairs, and it was, for lack of a better term, pretty dungy. I liked it. It had that real authentic pool hall vibe to it, but that's long gone. They had about 12 Hollywood tables that actually played all right. Iti Talasaga was a bit of a regular at that jaunt, taking money off innocent victims and beers.
Do they have no miscues? You know how we have miscues in Auckland? Do they have any of those down there?
No, not that I'm aware of anyway.
So they do have 9 foots in Christchurch, definitely, and in Dunedin.
Yes, yep. So that's Bowie's in Dunedin
and Pool Canterbury.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Yep.
There used to be another one actually called Blue Q in Lower Hutt. Denise probably played there as a junior, and they used to hold a few tournaments there. Bruce would know of it. Yeah. But yeah, Wellington's a bit of a untapped market as far as American stuff's concerned. So that's why I asked, would you consider, if someone said, hey, come to our insert CNZ affiliated club here, Tony Upper Hutt, we've got 10, 12, whatever tables, you wouldn't consider doing a 9-ball event?
I don't think we wouldn't rule it out.
Table?
We wouldn't rule it out. It's obviously
Denise
something we haven't.
Screwed up faces.
We haven't talked about it, so it's kind of a little bit on the spot. But yeah, things like jump shots and there's a lot of things that you can't do on those tables.
You get kicked straight out.
Yeah,
full of jump shot on a freshly
literally
rigged pop black or something.
It'd be a pretty slow game on a 7-foot.
It is different. I've tried it. It's not 9-ball, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guess it'd just be hard to keep a ranking list as well with completely different tables. They play completely different rails, different pockets, different
cloth.
Yeah.
Stars.
Yeah.
Height.
Yeah.
The whole thing. No, we'll just cut that out, right?
Denise says it's a definite no.
If you're keeping a ranking list, I think it's pretty hard to.
Yeah, so pretty much those 3 places. I mean, obviously there are other 9-ball establishments or other American pool establishments, but whether they would want to host tournaments is yet to be seen.
All right, well, it could be the start of something, a beautiful thing, a bit of cross-pollination within the sport. You never know. Someone might reach out to you and extend the olive branch. It would be cool to see more 9-ball stuff being played with maybe less restrictions and that sort of thing. I, for one, if you have an open tournament, would be there. My name will be one of the first on the list because I actually quite miss that sport. I've had the odd knock around here and there on a 9-ball table, and I do miss it. I'm not fluent, but yeah, it's something that I felt just wasn't for me for various reasons at one stage, so sort of walked away from it, but I would be really interested to get back into it. So hold that open tournament. I think you'll get some pretty good responses out of it, numbers wise.
We would love that. We have had a lot of the guys approach us saying, when are we doing a men's one or an open one? So yeah, there obviously is the need for it out there.
Those men sometimes, aren't they? Yeah, where's our tournament?
Yeah, how come the girls are getting one? Yeah. We're just trying to bring a bit of the fun back into it as well. Like, our tournament is so lunch provided.
Good.
So just have to rock up with your queue and don't have to worry about any food or anything like that. Come and have a good time.
Can I ask, so what's the entry fee for your tournament coming up?
$45.
$45. Oh, that's pretty reasonable, isn't it? Yeah.
And that includes lunch.
Yeah. And do juniors get the same?
At this stage, so juniors are paying the same amount.
Yep.
Obviously, ideally, we're just starting, so we have no money.
Yep.
In the future, we'd like to be able to
subsidise that a little
subsidise
bit.
the entry, so they can pay like $10 and the association can top up the balance.
Oh, I'm all for trying to support the juniors, but it's kind of hard to justify subsidising the juniors when half the time they've got a really good chance of winning the tournament.
We might have some rules about that.
Yeah. So maybe if they win, they only get half the win. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. But it is because there's some real talent in the junior stuff in New Zealand at the moment. So it's hard to justify cutting them a deal on the entry when they've got such a good chance of taking some funds home.
Yep. We also want to do we've got a lot of ideas of things, but they haven't sort of quite come together yet. But like, give a kid a queue, drive for people that have like old queues and what have you.
That's a cool idea.
So we can start up a program to get juniors involved that can't afford to buy that, like their parents can't afford to buy queues and things.
Yeah. Oh, well, there we go. So anyone listening that might have an old queue sitting around that's still worth playing with. Obviously, we don't want old rat queues with no ferrules or no tips or cracked bloody joints. But get in touch with you guys at CSNZ.
That'd be great.
Yeah. That's a really cool idea. I'm gutted that Lucas didn't think of that first. 'Cause, none of the good ideas that we have come from me. It's all from Lucas, so you missed that one, mate. Another interesting thing that you guys are doing with your membership fee for your association, I thought was quite unique. Can you walk us through that and the logic behind it? Maybe Denise would like to speak on that. Or whoever's idea that was pushing that one forward, because that's anyone that doesn't know, it's quite different, and I applaud that. I think it's really cool.
So that was actually my partner's idea.
Cool.
For us to do a koha or donation as opposed to a membership fee.
Yep.
Which comes back to our inclusivity. So we want everyone to be included, regardless of whether they have money to pay or not.
Yep.
So if you're struggling to get an entry fee and paying another $30 or $40 for a membership on top of that when you've got 3 or 4 kids, it's just completely unaffordable, so you won't bother doing it.
Brilliant.
You could have the most talented kids in the world, but if you can't afford to get them out there, no one will ever know.
Yeah. I think I've never heard of that concept before, and I when I first heard it, I was like, and then I thought about it, I'm like, actually that's really clever. It is clever. And I can say quite honestly that if you do pay a lower amount than what you think might be the norm, there's no discrepancies. I know Lucas only paid $2.50 for his membership, and he hasn't been treated any differently than anyone else. So that's really reassuring. But that's a really cool concept, and that inclusivity is very important.
Yeah, so I had another question for these guys. So Denise, since she hasn't chatted too much, I wanted to ask what the tournament structure would be like. So as if it was double elimination, section play. So what it's going to be like for these ranking events coming up in the future.
Yeah, we're doing double life.
Double life? Cool. And it's just going to be
everything.
Double life throughout like every ranking event no matter what? Or is it might be subject to change sort of thing?
No, we're trying to stay away from section play and we're just going to do double life.
Yeah.
Especially if we're doing single day tournaments and stuff, that's what we want to do. So,
And so what's your race structure going to be? So let's say, for instance, you get 32 for this upcoming tournament. You're probably going to exceed that. But and that, if you do exceed that 32, that complicates things for a one-day tournament, 2 life. Is this one coming up to 9 ball? Is that right? Or 10 ball?
10
right.
ball.
Okay, so a little bit slower than 9 ball. What's your, if you had 32, you got 10 tables. What's 15. your 15 tables? Sorry. What's your race length going to be?
We've put on the post that we're doing race to 7.
Okay, right. Yeah. So I could have just looked at the post and known that. But this is for other people as well that might be listening and haven't seen the post yet.
But like, if we did get 48 or something, we might have to look at making the race a bit shorter. But
because
we weren't expecting such high numbers, so we've had such a good, amount of people enter already. So
it's good. When we do our red and yellow stuff, that Two Life, I'm a big fan of Two Life. It's a great format for that and longer races. And luckily, we don't get that many people turning out to our tournament, so we can make the races quite long. So we do a race to 7 on the front side and a race to 6 on the back side. Then we cut it off at semis, though, don't we? So no more Two Life from the semis.
Oh, yes.
So you can't go into a final with two lives intact, right?
I think we cut ours off at the last 8.
Right. Yeah. You have to. Otherwise, it just stretches out too long. It's time's always going to be a factor. So, and on the matter of time, I know someone that will listen to this podcast and wonder about what's happening with shot clocks and stuff like that. Do you enforce a shot clock or a time of any description for?
We haven't put it in the post, but we're looking at doing a 90-minute match clock.
Yeah,
so we don't want some of the matches.
Yep.
Going longer than that, and whoever's in front wins, or we'll do a 10-ball shootout or a 9-ball shootout.
Right. Yep, that's fair.
If it comes to that.
Yeah. Okay, and there's no shot time. It's sort of to the discretion of the players.
We don't for now because we do have some new players who don't know the rules and stuff like that, so we don't really want to be walking around timing their shots and stuff.
Bit of time to help them through it. Yeah.
Maybe eventually, but yeah.
And just on the back of those rules that you're mentioning. What rule set are you going to be playing with? Because I know with 9-ball there's quite a few different worldwide standards. I think there's like WPA. I think Matchroom do something slightly different as well, probably. I know there's a whole bunch of different ones that are out there. So do you guys have one?
We're going to do WPA rules.
WPA, cool.
So that'll be front ball on the spot or middle ball on the spot. So black in this case.
Playing 10-ball, so it'll be one on the spot.
Oh, is it always one on the spot?
Yeah, 9-ball's the one that changes.
All right, we'll edit that bit out. Hey, I'm not here to make myself look even more stupid. Can't afford that.
I haven't played since April, so I have no idea.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time since I've been on an American table full stop. So
that's why we wanted double life too. It was for longer races. I forgot that's why we chose double life.
Yeah,
because you can do longer races. Yeah.
Right. So double life, decent races. Yeah. So you can actually, even if you drop 2 or 3 frames consecutively, you're not out of the running. You've still got a good chance of clawing back.
No one's going to fluke a win.
Yeah. Okay. So in line with the WPA rules and how they do things. So there's not that much variation within the American stuff, really, is it? It's kind of like nitpicky stuff between the bigger players. But yeah, it's good. You got to have these rules enforced from the get go, I suppose, eh? Just to make sure everyone knows where they're at and what they're doing. All right, well, we might look at wrapping it up there. All the best to you guys. I really applaud what you're trying to do, and I hope it all works out really well, and I hope you get numbers for your tournaments, and I hope to see some open tournaments coming. My advice would be tentatively with your open events, maybe try and pick a 3-day weekend, because I'll make a prediction that you probably get quite a decent amount of interest. So, 3-day weekend, double life, make a real good one of it, and you might get 80 players or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. But all the best to you, and we're watching with interest. So just quickly, also, so you're on socials, just Facebook at the moment.
We have Facebook and obviously have website. We have a YouTube channel that we've just set up, but we haven't. So Lucas will be posting the first thing to it next weekend.
Cool.
All those links are on our Facebook and our website.
Cool. So
csnz.org.nz.
Brilliant. Very good. All right. Well, so anyone listening, go and give them a like on Facebook and a follow, and keep up to date with what's coming, because I think there's going to be some big cool things coming your way soon.
Yeah, we've got some really exciting things in the pipeline, and once they're all confirmed, then we'll announce those.
Brilliant. Well, all the best. Thanks, guys, for coming and having a chat with us.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you for that.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having
Thank
us.
you.